Okay, now how do I get back to you people? Oops. Did you see it?
That was so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very moving.
Really nice.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
I have to,
I like the photos, and I like that you include the one of your little new, is it nephew, the little baby on FaceTime?
yeah, and I also,
And us. That was cool.
before I got you, I do play bridge also, and with Alaska, Seattle, and Colorado, and so I thought I'd throw that in too. And it's too long to send on an email, so I'm going to have to cut it down. And Grace, I'm learning iMovie, but I sure need your help.
Okay, well, maybe we can Zoom one of these days.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I thought it was fun to do, and if you have some suggestions, let me know.
Peg, I wouldn't necessarily cut it down. There are other ways besides just attaching it to an email to send it out to people. There are programs out there that you can drop that in that allow larger files. And so wanting to keep it the same length or more, there's other ways to send it.
I put mine in YouTube, and then I send the link for the YouTube link to my by email, so they get the full thing that I send.
Yeah, but if you put that on YouTube, trust me, you'll get a letter from YouTube saying they took it off. Remember, Grace? I know it was Holly Starry Night. Yeah, well, I tried that on Facebook. 15 minutes later, they said you're out of here, and they turned it off.
Even if you choose the setting that is only by the people that you send it to, it's not for the public.
They said exact words was, "You're the only one that can see this because it violates copyrights."
Oh, okay.
It's all copyright.
Peg, there is a service out there called WeTransfer.com.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
WeTransfer.com, and it's a free service. You could send a file up to 2 gigabytes, so your movie should be more than good.
Oh.
And you can send that to 2 or 3 people. It's no charge.
Oh, okay.
So if you had 4 or 5 people, then you just have to send it a couple of times. But it's a great service. I use it all the time to send videos to clients.
Say the name again. I'll put it in the notes.
It's Gene. It's WeTransfer.com.
And I've also used Smash. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, Kevin, or not.
I've not used that. I've been real happy with WeTransfer, so I've used it for all the stuff that I'm doing.
And I've found when I want to send something on mail, I just used Apple's mail program. And it comes up and it says, "This is too big. Would you like me to send it using mail drop?" And I say yes, and then it goes through fine. And I think what it does is it puts it in the cloud for maybe 30 days, and the person who I'm sending it to has to download it.
Does that person have to be Mac also though, Grace?
I have no idea.
I think so.
And
I was just gonna say, the nice thing about WeTransfer is anybody can download the file, and you've got 7 days to do it. So the person will get an email, and it says, "Peg has sent you a file. Click here to download." They download it, and they're all set.
Oh, good, good.
Good go.
Well, I'll try that because I've been working on cutting it down to 2 minutes instead of 4.
Can I give you one suggestion, Peg?
Sure.
The text that you used, where you just used 2 or 3 word comments like went to meeting or something, I wouldn't make those sentences so that you say, I went to a lot of meetings, or just some general term. Because even though you know what you're talking about, oftentimes the viewer doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the photos, but I thought the music could be something a little more upbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Holly, I can't hear you very well.
what'd you say, Sherry?
I can't hear Holly. It's very, very soft.
Huh.
Can you raise your speaker volume or something?
Try this. Can
And
you hear me
say-
now?
Say something.
Can you hear me now?
It's about the same.
Ah,
I'll just listen harder.
how's this?
That's better.
Better.
Yeah.
You know,
Putting the microphone closer works.
the
Um,
music-
I have to play Mrs. Santa in an hour on another Zoom.
Oh, you look so cute.
Yes, I like the outfit, Holly.
Well, 'tis the season. So
Peg, I really,
what I said to Peg was, I thought, I love the photos, but I thought a little more upbeat music might be
Yeah.
better for the season.
Yeah.
I thought the music was perfect for the show, and it just really moved me. I thought it was beautiful. So
Oh, thank you. It's hard to get the music. I've got a lot of iTunes, but you know, iMovie will say, sorry, you can't use that. Sorry, you can't use that. And I'm only using it for my own good. I'm not gonna put it anywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a difficulty.
Hey,
Trust
Peg,
me,
I
Peg,
really
you
liked the
never got
music.
as many
thought
as
it
I
fit.
did.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought it fit perfectly. I liked the music a lot.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So Peck, can you show that on La Posada's internal video TV circuit?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can, yeah, probably. I can check on it.
I bet they would like that. I think
Yeah.
they would like that.
uh-huh.
I don't know what kind of a copyright issue you have showing it on their
It's
closed
all for
circuit.
internal use, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have an internal thing. I'll see.
Usually if it's not public, you get away with it.
Yeah, yeah.
The computer club a couple of years ago did some checking in terms of sharing material that they had bought from, I don't know if it was Lydia.com or one of these. As long as they had some way of only showing it to their members, it was okay. As soon as it became public outside of their membership, it wasn't. But I don't know if that holds to everything, but that's the route they went.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I appreciate you looking at it and
I just do it anyway, Peg, because the worst case scenario, they send you a letter, a cease and desist, please stop doing this. And you send them one back and say, okay, I will. And everybody's happy.
okay. Yeah.
Well, I thought that was neat. Christmas, huh? Okay, for the first time in a long time, I've got one to share, and it's Christmas. You better believe this. The whole Santa Claus thing, let me tell you, I can share Santa Claus with you. So I'm going to, if I don't screw this up, show you a quick video. Hang on, here we go. "13-year-old twin granddaughters were talking to me on the phone. I'm kind of relating a story of how they had pranked their mother with some silly prank, and I said, you guys need to be careful, Santa's not going to bring you a gift this year if you're too mean to your mom." And they laughed and they said, "Oh, Papa, come on, we're too old for that. We know there's no Santa Claus." Really? I'm 76 years old, and I believe there's a Santa Claus. I'm gonna have to prove to these kids Santa really exists. Okay, here's my plan. I'm gonna take my super duper GoPro camera that has a night scope on it. I'm gonna put it in a tripod. I'm gonna put it up on the roof at my neighbor's house. When I hear noise, I can trigger the camera from my cell phone. So I'll wait till I hear Santa on the roof. I'll trigger the camera, and guess what? I'll have video of the old red elf himself. Now all I have to do is climb up on the roof, set up my night vision camera, wait for the right moment, and I'll have old Santa Claus caught. Well, this is it. I've heard a clatter up on the roof, so I'm going to turn on my rooftop camera and see what's the matter.
Oh!
Well, this project was the stupidest thing I ever did. You've taken your dog for a walk, you know, that little cockapoo, with a Ziploc bag and a teaspoon to pick up the poop after him. Huh. Have you ever tried to pick up after 8 reindeer? It took a snow shovel, a power washer, and 2 contractor bags. It was by far the stupidest thing I ever did. No more of this junk. I don't think. Isn't Easter coming up soon? I've got a bag of carrots. If I just had some 2x4s and chicken wire, I'll bet. We could catch the Easter bunny. I heard that.
That was terrific, Jean.
I figure, you gotta do something with this video. You ought to have a little fun with it. You should see.
I've got an 11-year-old coming to visit on Wednesday, and I want to show her that. Would the best way be from, the recording of this session, or can you just?
Yeah, it'll be on the recording of this session.
Okay.
I want you to know how
Cute.
that works so well. I had to do, Holly's going to laugh when she hears this. I'm the speaker for the speaker series on the 17th. So after watching everybody on the speaker series, I said, how are they going to know whether it's live or not? Well, they're not going to know, especially if I pre-record some of it and I wear the same shirt and use the same virtual background. And then I thought, I'd also like some clips from people to show samples. We're doing a thing on personal projects. So I went back to the videos that we had recorded for this class, and I was able to clip bits and pieces out perfectly. It's a really good way. In fact, now I'm looking at that big winter class, and I'm thinking I'm going to interview a lot of board members and stuff to share. I'm just going to do it on Zoom. The quality's good. It looks nice. But if you need a copy, let me know, and I'll just email you one. It'll go on email.
Okay, yeah, do that, please. That's perfect. I loved it.
Where did you get the graphics?
YouTube. And it's a green screen background because it was just Santa on a green screen. Then I picked a Christmas card scene and put him on top of it.
And what about how the packages all fell off and all that?
Yeah, that was all on the green screen. It's just I just looked up Santa Claus green screen. There's some really neat stuff for those of you that know how to, I'm saying this wrong, but anyway, for those of you who can use green screen on your video editor, if you go look on YouTube, there are just hundreds of green screens that you can download and then put on top of your backgrounds. Do some really neat stuff.
Do you actually have to have a green screen to do it?
No. You have to know how to do that on your video editor.
Right, okay, iMovie does that.
Yeah, it does it. You're two layers and you're laying one on top of the other.
Yeah, but the only time I've done it was with something that actually was shot with a green screen, like the motorcycle. And
Well, that's where when you download these pre-made green screen videos from YouTube, they were either cartoonized or shot against a green screen, so they're already pre-made.
Oh, cute. That was great.
But that one, I had that one with the little munchkins farting that I did for my grandkids, and that was also done on a green screen. I haven't shown that in years. Maybe next meeting I'll drag that out and show you. But I just wanted to give everybody an idea. Have some fun with this stuff.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of suggestions that people had made on doing this speaker series things on creating a personal project for either still photography or videos or what have you. And I just have a whole list of possible projects. And I looked at a lot of them and I thought, God, they'd be fun to do. And I'm definitely going to do some of them, you know. And then we'll see if maybe Linda can put stuff together for a couple of scavenger type presentations. Like one of them was Guilty Pleasures. That's the only title they give you. Can imagine what I could do with 3 or 4 minutes and the concept of guilty pleasures.
Oh, gosh, let's not think about that.
I'm not looking to get arrested.
I
Yeah,
heard that.
Gene, this is a G-rated show.
Oh, there was another one that said interview 5 strangers.
Interview what?
Interview 5 strangers, people you don't know. I said, well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
there was a special, and I don't remember what I was watching. It was something probably Sunday morning yesterday, that show on CBS, where they were interviewing a fellow who has gone around the world and interviewed strangers. And it was excellent. It was an excellent segment. And how he just picked out people and had them tell their stories and listened. And they were, you know, telling things they'd never told anybody, and to a perfect stranger. And he was a photographer and he did a great job. So if you can go back, I think you could probably find it on demand. That was yesterday's Sunday morning.
That was an excellent segment, and he had some nice photography in that too.
Yes.
Could you say what it was called again?
Well, it was the Sunday morning show. So the one that
Called Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. It's usually with Jane Pauley.
Oh,
And I don't know where it was in the segment. It was because that goes an hour and a half.
Just
okay. I made the commitment a couple of weeks ago, got a big hoorah out of Phil that I would look at alternatives to Premiere Pro. So I downloaded DaVinci Resolve, and Friday started it up, and 4 hours later, I have my first DaVinci Resolve project. It's 3.5 minutes if you want to see it.
Cool.
yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, you should have a black screen.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yep, I'm hung up. How about now?
Yes.
Yep. It's working now.
deliberately,
Hey, Brian, what was the learning curve? How hard?
if you know something about working with timelines already, not bad at all.
Good, good.
I spent more of my time digging around in all the files looking for stitched panoramas. None of those had any less than 4 individual pictures stitched together. Deliberately made it non-narrative because I'm waiting for my new microphone. But
Hey, Brian?
it's not hard to do.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's in the transmission, but at least on my end, all the dissolves were broken up. I don't know whether it was in the render from Resolve or what it was, but the pictures are wonderful. They look good. Sound was not great, but all the dissolves broke up. Gene, what did it look like to you?
The dissolves broke up and the sound was jerky.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was definitely a latency issue, but I don't know whether it's from Resolve or just your connection or wherever it is.
I just guess Zoom. Every now and then strange things happen.
I'm thinking it's the Zoom transmission because it plays just as smooth as anything, even on a tablet.
So what was the final render?
That was extremely tinny, and it's probably from Zoom.
Yeah. What was the final render? Is it a 264 or what is it?
Yeah, it's 264.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm looking for the size. Oh, where the heck is that? That's it rendered out at 226 megabytes.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been a problem, but it sure was on Zoom.
Yeah,
But the pictures were wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
Beautiful photography, Brian. Just beautiful photos.
We really like the wide aspect photos. And like I said, none of those had less than 4 smaller pictures stitched together. And some of them had as many as 20 or 30.
When you do that many, how many rows do you do?
It depends on what we're trying to catch. Some of them are just 1 row with maybe 6 or 8 across, and some of them are 3 and 4 rows. But actually, the one at Horseshoe Bend, that had over 50 individual photos that went into it.
What was the NP and the SP on some of the pictures? I didn't know what that stood for.
Yeah, I thought about spelling that out. SP is State Park, NN, National Monument, NP, National Park.
Oh, okay.
Should I spell that out?
Yes.
Maybe not on every picture,
Oh.
but maybe as
one.
an intro somewhere so that we know what it was.
Okay.
I don't know.
For somebody that wants to get a full featured program to put together your shows, I think I'm going to recommend Resolve. We're going to go to it. The only thing, and I'll direct this one to Gary. The only thing that I don't like is the audio portion of it, Fairlight. I can't find a spectral display in there that allows me to go in and identify little chunks to fix like I can in Audition.
What version of Resolve did you download?
Whatever was current on Friday.
So that should be 17. There should be a spectral plugin available for it, but if there isn't, you can download any plugin from the internet and actually have it run within Fairlight.
Okay, I'll start looking for that because when it comes to audio and fiddling with it, Audition has got me spoiled. I'm looking at Reaper. It looks like it may have some of the same stuff. I don't know.
I use Reaper. It's a tremendous DAW, probably the best on the market now. And a lot of people, a lot of professional studios are moving away from Pro Tools and going to Reaper. And the latest version, they've updated their video capability So now you can bring in a finished video or a rough video and do all your audio work from within Reaper. It's very good.
Okay, I'll look harder at it. Thank you.
Ryan, is Resolve what you use to stitch together your photos?
No, these are all off the shelf already. I used Adobe Bridge, which is a free download, and Camera Raw is what I use to do the stitching. A couple of those photos were from years ago, and I used the Microsoft Image Compositing Editor, ICE, which was not bad for what it was at the time.
It was really nice.
Thank you.
I learned a trick from a fellow I was traveling with in Africa, and I could tell he was sitting right behind me and he was shooting click, 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 click. I could tell he was shooting a panorama, and my way of identifying a panorama was to shoot my hand and then just shoot across and then shoot my hand. So I knew where that segment was, but he did something different. He shot right in the middle and he turned it, angled it. And then he took the manual readings off of that image or the aperture and all that stuff, and set his camera so that everything was consistent for the whole thing. Nothing changed. Well, I was probably shooting on, P. But that was the way he kept all of his all the readings the same throughout it. Because I've shot like 24 and never went back to redo them or to stitch them together when we were in the Lemire Channel and in Antarctica. And it's so beautiful. And I probably had 3 rows of I probably had at least 12 shots. And I wish now I could find those. Probably could somewhere on some hard drive and stitch those together now, because it was a beautiful setting. But anyway, that was the trick that I had learned from this fellow, who now he does panoramas, and he publishes panoramas, and he used Blurb and lay flat books, and he has a whole book full of his panoramas, and they are just stunning. Yeah,
we like them. It's the difference between old square television and Panavision. Yes.
I watched a girl working last summer. I was at a big harbor in Michigan, and she had one of those stabilizers that Ron had shown last year or the year before, and with the iPhone, and she had it set to do panoramas. So she had this thing on a tripod, and it automatically went chunk, and it moved the camera chunk, and she said it would do X number of pictures across and X number of pictures down, and they were all precise because this machine was doing it for her.
Oh,
No, I've used the.
What does that cost?
I don't know, Ron. What was that? What you remember that stabilizer?
I use Photoshop to do all my stitching, and you can do anything you want. The nice thing about using the camera, if you use it in the vertical position,
right.
you get much more detail than
Right.
you do if you use the horizontal position.
No, I was talking about that stabilizer you showed, that white thing.
Yes,
That's what she was using.
it
I don't know if that's
started
called a
with
Sagio or some stuff like
It
that.
started with a Y, something like
Yeah.
YUT something or other. And that was pretty slick, but that was only for phones.
Yes, she was using an iPhone.
I think my gimbal will do that.
Yes, some of them do.
Some gimbals will.
Yes.
Wow, aren't we getting sophisticated? It's sort of scary.
But they make a automatic gimbal for DSLRs but it's close to $400, where the one for the iPhone, it was like 120. So
Yeah,
it
they're
was
like
bad.
79 now.
Yeah. Well, you have to be careful what you buy, because I remember Todd at the same meeting demonstrated one that he paid like 89 or 90, something like that. And it didn't have any features at all to it other than keeping the picture perfectly straight.
One of the things that some of the professionals use, it's not an automated process, is a gear head for their tripod. Susan found one for me that is, she got it because she wanted a beefy tripod underneath a big lens, but they work real well for panoramas. We shoot with about 50% overlap from picture to picture. That way you get pretty good detail. There's a class for you, Gene.
Yeah, right.
For your 10-week course is a class on doing panoramas.
Oh, good. Are you volunteering? Ah.
How long do you want it to be?
Half an hour. Well, I tell you what, just so you guys know, because I am going to contact some of you individually and twist arms. But what we're planning on doing is a little bit different. We're never going to get back this year into the GVR centers to have face-to-face classes. So everything is going to be on Zoom. And there will be 5 basic sessions. The instructors do not have to come and teach 3 times. We're going to have one Zoom session. It'll be on Tuesday, and then it'll be repeated, or it'll be shared on YouTube for everybody else in the class that wants it. And then after that, we're not going to have 5 more classes. We're going to have dozens of them. We're going to have little short half-hour to 45-minute elective classes on just a gazillion topics, maybe even some of the creative live stuff used, and people will just come and pick and take whatever they want. And so yours
Let
would
me
fit
ask
into that.
Kevin, are you driving?
Watch out, that red flashing light behind him is blinding the camera.
After you.
Peg, I'm doing. Leave him alone.
Peg, I'm doing my best Holly impression. No, I'm not driving now. That's why the seatbelt is off. I'm parked.
Well, Gene, you know, the computer club has opened back up. They've been open for a few weeks.
Yes, I went over and visited.
Yeah.
Their attendance is about 3 people a day.
Well, yeah. Who wants to be around
exactly? You know, they get a couple, because I asked Mike Kearns, because basically Mike runs everything, and he said the attendance is so low, they're like open in name only, you know. So I don't think I'd want, GVR would let me put a class together with 50 people in it.
Oh, no, no way.
That's not going to happen. So we're just going to do it all by Zoom. That's going to work out okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're all doing multimedia and video, and Zoom really is a powerful tool if you kind of play around with it. When you have to do interviews, it's difficult to schedule an interview. I have to meet with somebody. We have to do it at a specific time and place. We have to set up lighting. We have to do all kinds of stuff. With Zoom, I can go in, we can have an interview. I can give them the questions ahead of time. We'll record it all on Zoom, and it looks good. Really, the quality is excellent. We get away with it.
The only drawback I see to the Zoom is what we just saw today. The transmission of
Right.
videos as part of your class is just not going to perhaps play.
No. Yeah. You know, though, the odds are, I don't know. I'd have to look at it. And when we play back today's recorded video, I'll play some special attention to that, your panorama shot. In 2 or 3 instances going back, stuff that didn't look really good on the screen turned out okay on the recorded video, and I have no idea why. I spent quite a bit of time on Zoom's help screens and public, chat, whatever rooms, and basically nobody knew why. Sometimes it just screws up.
Well,
They
wouldn't
were all
it,
talking about bandwidth, and that's the question I got over and over again, bandwidth.
wouldn't it be, it sort of be fun if you showed the same video again and everybody turned their video off? Because isn't that supposed to help?
Yes, that was their big suggestion, was to make everybody in the group. That was the number one suggestion, that everybody watching has to turn their video off while the video is playing.
And the only way you'd ever know is if you, like now, showed the same movie again and everybody turned their video off.
Okay. Robin, you want to show your movie again? We'll try it.
Okay, can't you turn it off, Gene? Everybody's video?
No,
You
No.
know what? I don't know.
no.
You want it? No, I can't.
You
I
can
just-
turn the audio off, but not video.
Not video. And I can turn them off one at a time, but that's too complicated.
Brian, can you give us a little more volume on it this time?
Can I what?
I was
No.
asking Brian if
Yes.
you can give us more volume this
Oh,
time.
yeah, Brian, I can't hear.
Okay.
So somebody turned off the video. Oh, I see, turn off the video.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
have the volume down a little bit, so it's all the way up now. All right, here we go again.
Okay, so stop your videos.
Okay. So everybody see a black screen?
Yep.
Okay.
It's better ready. My transitions are still a little jerky.
Say still a little jerky.
The transitions.
Now they're nice and smooth on the screen, so it's a Zoom thing.
Right.
Brian, can you turn your camera off?
I did.
No, Brian.
Oh, Brian.
I'll turn it off.
Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
No, I can't because it would turn your screen off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the dissolves are definitely better, Brian.
Yeah, they are.
Definitely better, but they're still a little herky-jerky.
Yeah.
And the audio is very tinny.
I'm sorry, the audio is what?
It's tinny, it's low and pretty thin.
Sounds great on my end.
Yeah.
I had to turn my audio all the way up.
That's what I did. All right.
Yeah, it definitely improved it, but it isn't remarkable. The pictures are wonderful, though. And your music dropped out, is that right?
All of his sound is gone.
Yeah, it's all sound's gone.
I've noticed that dissolves really don't work well on Zoom either. I think
they
maybe
don't.
just clean cuts would be best.
Really?
I guess the issue there is if you are doing a video, a film, do you do it with what you think looks best, or do you do it to fit best on Zoom? It's like when we were doing stuff in the Anza room, you had to put all your titles at the bottom of the, at the top of the screen, because people in the back of the audience couldn't see them if they were on the bottom for all the heads in the way. And that's an artistic choice that is driven by where you're showing the thing. So
I think
I don't think jump cuts work on this particular thing, and that's my thing. But now to make it look good on Zoom, I have to go to jump cuts instead of dissolves. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Well, they're not
No, I
jump
think
cuts, they're just cuts. They're just cuts, Brian. Whatever. Digital transmission on the internet does not do well with dissolves. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
the kind of thing is not to worry about it too much for the purpose of what we did here today. Even though the sound was a little herky-jerky and the dissolves didn't work, we got the idea. The point was gotten across. He showed us how he used resolve. And how do I say it? At the same time, if you were doing this for a class, you'd simply offer another copy on YouTube. So the people who participate in the class could watch it on Zoom, and then they could go back and watch it on YouTube and see it in all its glory. And I think that's kind of the workaround for crappy online transmission.
If they really want to see it, they can go see it.
Yeah, exactly. You put the link over in the notes and in the chat notes, and people can click it on and go watch it at their leisure. And see it in full quality or in better quality. Let me rephrase that. YouTube isn't the greatest, but.
Sound was not very loud, and I have my computer turned volume up as loud. So I was having difficulty hearing the sound this time, Brian, and I'm not sure. When you went into share, did you do the enhanced, check the enhanced part down at the bottom?
I guess not. Let me.
Oh, that could be a big difference on sound.
Sound wasn't good.
Share compute. They're not checked.
Okay.
That makes a huge difference.
Make a difference because I wasn't able to hear much. I mean, I had it as loud as I could on my end, but it still was not coming through very strong at all.
Well, I don't want to inflict that on you again.
Well, you could try it just
30 seconds.
I have a question to ask Kevin. On that WeTransfer, I just tried my app on that. There are 2 or 3 of them. And one of them you had to pay for. Which one is free?
I'm doing it on the computer when I'm doing it, Peg, and there should be, unfortunately, since I'm not in front of my screen, I can't tell you exactly, but there should be a thing where it just says, take me to free, or a button, something like that.
Okay.
Just poke around. There's the pay part, and then there's the free part.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you bet. Hey, Brian, can you post that video on YouTube, because I'd love to see it there?
I don't have a YouTube account. I put all that stuff on video.
It'll be on our it'll be available for download here. Brian, if you give me a link or send me a copy, I think we can put it on the club's YouTube.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thanks, Gene.
Okay. Do you want to try a 30-second shot at the enhanced?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll all shut our cameras off.
Open with hang on. Okay, should say presents.
Yes.
I'm going to jump ahead a little and off we go.
Oh, sounds incredible. Yes, 100% better.
That was so much better.
Okay, so operator error.
Even the transitions are better. It dissolves right.
Transitions, yep.
Yeah.
The dissolves are better. They're still a little pixelated, but the sound was like 100% better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good, because that's such nice music. The guy is an Egyptian and he's anonymous because of political issues in his home country. So he uses that funny name and puts his stuff out. I found it on Free Music Archive. So, okay.
All right.
Last week, I think last week was Showtime. Whenever it was, I was watching it and my husband wanted to see it also. And because it was Showtime and it was all going to be not just Zoom people on, I hooked it up to our TV through the HDMI cord. And I was not able to get the sound out of our sound bar on our TV. And I wasn't sure what I was doing, but I used the TV a lot just to preview my iMovies and stuff. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I texted Grace and told her what was happening and didn't know because she's kind of a Zoom guru. I asked her about the sound coming out of the sound bar when I hooked my computer up for Zoom. And anyway, she had a suggestion and it worked. And so I don't know if any of you watch any of the other.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Okay. And so her suggestion was to go down to my microphone and look for I was trying to do it in my computer, but once I'm in Zoom, then she said, go into the microphone and then see if your TV speaker is on that. So just as a tip, if anybody, I mean, I'm not very technical, so I hadn't thought about it being a Zoom problem like that. I thought maybe it was the connection with my computer and stuff, but because sometimes I do have to switch it to the TV.
Yeah, but the TV would have to be connected first.
Yeah.
So that Zoom can know that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, and you had told me that. So that made it more enjoyable. Be able to hear the sound coming out of the TV instead of both of us were trying to watch it on the TV.
Same with my AirPods. If you go to the microphone and the little up arrow, and if they're on and connected,
Yep, it shows up.
You can speak. You can pick those then.
Yeah, but the soundbar usually runs on Bluetooth, so the Zoom will pick it up as an external system. Sometimes when you just plug the TV in and you don't have a soundbar, then the HDMI feeds right through with the sound. You really got to experiment a little bit with your setup.
Have any of you recently bought a big screen TV? We're going to need one when we move.
Actually, we bought one about 3 months ago. We're really enjoying it.
So I'm looking at the OLED and the QLED and LED, and there's absolutely no question that the OLEDs are way superior in look like and so forth, but I was just wondering if anybody had any experiences. We don't need anything bigger than 55 inch, so it's not really a big, but
I'll see if I can find my paperwork and I'll
yeah,
let you know what we got. It's one of those LEDs.
one of them, yeah.
We chose the more expensive one that had where you could sit at angles. I don't know if you saw that.
Curved screen.
Rather than
Oh, no.
forward.
Right.
So we really, we wanted to have the full thing and then have it look like it's supposed to.
I'm gonna guess that's the OLED.
Yeah.
And it's really, really thin.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's really thin.
Yeah, one of my grandsons has it. He's a big time gamer, but then he's got more money than he knows what to do with. I guarantee you, they have to shovel the money into the store to get that one. So
Yeah, probably.
I know,
Got
I
one
know
now
that
that's about 8
JP,
feet across. It only costs 110,000.
oh yeah,
Taking orders.
I know JP bought the curved screen and he didn't like it at all.
I tried the curved screen and immediately took it back. I couldn't, for me, it wasn't good.
I don't even see those in the store anymore. And Costco doesn't have any.
Well, then they're not good if Costco doesn't have it.
We tried a curved desktop monitor for the computer and took it back in about 2 days. Just didn't like it.
Hey, Gene, I have a question. This is a little bit off the wall, but from yesterday's Green Valley News, I wondered, my heart went out to the photographer who lost his home and his equipment. And I wondered if anybody in this Zoom group knows the guy. Did anybody see the story? 34-year-old Dano Grayson.
Oh, we know him. He presented last year for Speaker Series.
Yep.
His house burned down.
His house burned.
Did a nice job for us.
It says he's 34, works as a fixer for nature programs, someone who arranges opportunities and guides crews. He most recently contributed to BBC's 7 Worlds, 1 Planet, Netflix Night on Earth, and Apple TV's Tiny World. So he's been around the world, but the photo showing his interior, I'm sorry that it is not a great photo to begin with, but it was like, sounded like it might have been I couldn't tell if it was a trailer or a module.
Yeah.
It's not important. He's lost his home, his equipment, and perhaps what my takeaway was, if I had anything, not only do you want to have insurance, but you want to have your stuff backed up, right? But talks about how there's so his home was near Elephant Head, and that there was he's a trained biologist. His adventures have taken him around the country and around the world, with a long stop in the Amazon rainforest. I can imagine his presentation was riveting.
It was great.
Yeah,
He
very good.
was the one that hung out in a hammock for like 3 months at a time. He would take water collection devices and rice and stay up there in the air for weeks and weeks before he'd come down to get some fresh supplies up in the rainforest.
Says there's an overpouring of help, and as of Friday, the page, what do we call the page? The help, when people are trying to help.
GoFundMe.
Thank you. Had raised over $12,000 as of Friday. Well, I mean, I would like to reach out to this guy. I mean, he's one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to go or what to do, but my hope was that some of you would know this guy and want to make sure he's not a nutcase. Maybe even if he is a nutcase, I'd like to help.
He's not a nutcase. He's a little far out there in what he does. I mean, hanging out in a hammock for 3 months at a time is pretty
well.
But that's
And
good.
we
I
like
thought it was
nutcases.
cool.
What are you
Well,
talking about?
I have his
We'll go for
email
him.
if you want it, Joe.
Oh, okay. You know, with COVID, I mean, I wasn't sure exactly how arresting that was going to be, but
I don't know if he has his email.
Yeah, that's right. Someone lent him I think it said someone lent him a trailer. I don't know if it was, he said that he would live in a tent if need be. And I think his biggest loss he felt was his cat named Meow.
Hey, Joe, did you say he worked for the paper?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay. I
no,
misunderstood.
His picture was in the paper.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the front page, the most it was like 2/3 of the front page and then most of another inside page. But
Well, thank you for bringing it up. I didn't see the story, so thanks.
I suppose it's online as well, you know, as well as in print. My wife said that she had seen some sort of reference earlier in the week, maybe the Wednesday edition, that there was a fire, but it was too early to know whose it was or something. So if there was an email address, how would I get that?
Email me, Joe.
Okay. Nobody's been to his house. Nobody knows him that well.
Mm-mm.
Well, the newspaper should have a contact, I would presume.
Yeah.
You might check with Linda Gregory if she's been there, because he's near the ponds out there and they were talking about going out for bird photography, but I don't know if they ever did.
Yes, that went
Yes,
this
they
morning.
went.
Susan and I
They
went
went?
out there and froze our butts off and came home early.
Yeah, so check with Linda where he was.
We assume they're still out there freezing.
They should be here if they want to freeze.
Yeah, the story caught our eye too. And Sue and I had the question, how did the fire start? Because he was a long way from home when it started. And having seen articles about fires starting due to charging things like lithium batteries, we never leave anything charging when we leave the house.
Ah.
I don't know if that was the case here, but he had a here, who knows?
They did say, thought it might be electrical.
That would fit.
I have to leave. I'm sorry. Thank you all.
Okay,
Thank
Joe.
you.
I'll look for it.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Brian,
Sure.
on that subject of charging LiPo batteries, I charge mine in a Pyrex dish. That's what's recommended, that you put them in a Pyrex dish. If a fire starts, it's probably not going to burn your house down.
I think
Put
that's
the lid on.
No, don't put the lid on. It's got to be vented, but I'll show you.
The advantages from home.
This is what I charge in. You just put the batteries in there. The charger doesn't have to be in there. And if a fire starts, it's pretty much going to be contained.
So what about the chargers that plug in, but your battery goes right in it?
Well, the new one I have fits in there. So
What do you do? Put an extension cord?
Yeah, no, you just run this is the charger for my new drone, which I just got 3 days ago, and it fits in the Pyrex dish, and it charges 3 batteries at one time. But anyway, the Pyrex thing, it has saved me more than once.
When you charge your phone, do you use it?
No, I don't use it for the phone because the phones generally aren't using LiPo batteries. LiPo batteries are the latest technology. It's the battery that burned a 767 down to the airport in London. So they are dangerous, and it's very difficult to put the fire out once it starts. Don't put water on it. On that happy note, I gotta go.
Good to see you.
Okay,
All right.
Good to see you.
All right.
Bye.
I'm gonna, unless anybody has anything special, I'm gonna end it all. And we can meet again next Monday. And then we'll decide what we want to do over Christmas then, whether we want to skip a meeting or whatever.
Okay, please don't end it all, Jean.
No.
Okay, before you go, you have to hear my really bad joke about ending it all. There's some old guy down here in Green Valley, and with this COVID and not being able to go to the Elks for drinks and all that stuff, he was really disappointed, so he decided to end it all. So he went into his garage and he stuffed some rags in all the cracks, and he sat in his car and turned it on, and he put on his favorite oldies station and leaned back ready to meet his maker. About 3 days later, his neighbors hadn't seen him, so they called the police and the fire department. The guys broke into the garage and they found him, and surprisingly, a bottle of water and a power bar later, he was back to normal. But that Tesla, they don't know if they're ever going to get it recharged. Okay. On that note, we're leaving. Goodbye, everybody.
Pretty good.
Bye.
Everyone.
All right.
Bye.